Right, let's have a look at how we actually split a blob using the scripts in Melodyne. It's very similar to selecting a blob, so we scrub to the point, where we want to select a blob, and we do it that way, but instead of selecting it, we're actually splitting it. So we're moving to the split point in the audio by scrubbing along the transport. So I've got this phrase loaded at the moment.
You're out of time.
Or selected, I should say. And we're just going to split out, say, the first section, which is your.
You're out of time.
Okay, so we're just going to make that into its own blob.
Transport cursor moved to current position.
So I moved to the current position where I needed to be, which is here. We lock the left mouse button.
Locked.
And then we scrub using Alt left and right, or left and right arrow by small amounts. Alt left or right arrow is by slightly bigger amounts, and then you can fine tune with left and right arrow. So let's find the end of your.
Oh.
So that's beginning of out. So I think there is a good place.
Unlocked.
Unlock the left mouse button and press the letter S for split.
Moving to the split point. Split blob dialog. Are you sure you want to split the blob at this position? No button. Alt plus N.
Yes, we do.
Yes button. Alt enter. Done. Split the selected blob and return the cursor back to the transport at your last position. Untitled
So
star.
what we got now?
Out of time.
So if we go left.
You're
Okay, that's what we wanted.
out of time.
And on this next one, we're going to split out the word time.
You're out of time.
So we repeat it.
Transport cursor moved.
If we play from this position, that should be okay.
Out of
Yeah, we can.
Transport
So I'm going to lock the left mouse button again.
locked.
And scrub to the point where we can split out time. Okay, I think there's a good
Unlocked.
place. It's pretty difficult, but you kind of get used to where you need to split when you're scrubbing, because obviously it slows down the audio and stuff, but you can hear those syllables and things. So press the letter S after unlocking the left mouse button.
Moving to the split point. Split blob dialog. Are you sure you want to split the blob at this position? No button. Alt plus N.
Yes, we do.
Yes button. Alt enter. Done. Split the selected blob and return the cursor back to the transport.
So now we should have
You're out of time.
so three separate blobs.
You're
Your,
out of
outer,
time.
and time. So that's how we split a blob using the scripts. We scrub along the transport when we've locked the left mouse button. We find the place where we want to split, press the letter S, and then just follow the dialogues to do it. And that should be, good to kind of get very accurate splits. There are occasions it may fail, but as I've written in the docs, this is down to a pixel either way. So simply just moving one pixel to the left or the right can make the big difference. But most of the time, the vast majority of times, it will work fine. So the last thing I want to show you here is separate as trill, which is another Melodyne native function. And I want you to see how this is done, but I want to make you aware of a potential thing that will happen. So we need to find something to split as trill, and now I've got a good example of that somewhere in here, so I'll just find it. Bar 51.
Transport scroll 5. Showing bars 32 to 64. Bar colon
Okay.
48. 52. 53. 54. 52. 51. Transport
Okay,
cursor.
51, let's... Yeah. So I'm
Transport
going to select here.
Selecting a blob. Please wait. Done. Selected a blob at this location.
So as you can hear, if we go back a little
50.
bit, the phrase...
Transport.
Reality.
So reality. Okay, we'll get the T of it actually.
Merge.
T.
Okay, so it's T, and there's a lot of vibrato in there.
51.
Okay, so we're going to split it as trill, and what that does, it cuts out all those little variations in pitch and splits them out into their own separate little blobs, so you can edit them specifically. This only works on things that fit into the algorithm of Melodyne, split as trill. But this is a good example of controlling vibrato that you wouldn't be able to do with the pitch tools or the modulation tools or anything like that, because it's too drastic. So when we've got it selected, which we have,
T.
okay, T, I'm going to press the T key to split as trill.
Separate as trill dialog. Are you sure you want to separate the selected blob as a trill? Note: this will only affect audio that requires this action. Any other audio will be unaffected. No button. Alt plus N.
Yes, we do.
Yes button. Alt enter. Untitled star. Done. Separated the selected blob as a trill and returned the cursor back to the transport at your last position.
Right, so what happens here, I'm going to show you what would happen. You could select another blob at this location because the chances are we have now moved. So if I use the left or right arrow key, yeah, we're back at the beginning of the file. And that's because it kind of unselects everything, so you lose your position. But if you do the split as trill and then immediately do an alt and enter to select, then you will be back on that selected blob at that position. But as we've not done that and we've pressed the left and right arrow keys, we need to go back and select those blobs it's split out. So I'll press Control Shift L.
Last position, bar 51.
Our last position was bar 51. Okay, so I'm going to go back there because if I show you, we're back at the beginning.
Showing bars -3 to 31.
Okay, we're back at the beginning, which is not good. So we'll go to bar 51.
Transport scroll 5. Showing bars 32 to 64. 48. 52. 53. 54. 52. 51. Transport cursor.
And I'm going to select a blob
Selecting
here.
blob. Please wait. Done.
Okay, so these are the blobs it's split out. So remember
50.
the phrase.
Transport.
reality.
Okay, that was all one blob. But if we listen to them now, the little blobs it's split out. T. Okay, it split them out into very tiny little blobs that you can edit, which is a great function to control vibrato that, you know, exceeds things you can edit with the modulation or drift tool and stuff like that. So again, you just select the blob you want to split as trill or separate as trill, and then press the T key to do it. And just be aware that after that action has been done, nothing will be selected. So you can press Alt and Enter to select a blob. So you you get at that position, and then you can listen to the blobs by using the left or right arrow key, or you just go back to the position you was at. You know, this was bar 51, and select a blob, and then you can carry on from that position. Okay, so that's splitting blobs and using the separate as trill function in Melodyne.